In this video, I'm going to go through the installation of the trim light extension kit. This kit's great if you're, say, a high-end foilboard rider and you need an extra bit of range in your kite while riding in varying conditions. The system works on any 2016 and 2017 trim light kit. Okay, first step is you're going to lay out your equipment and we're going to break down the trim light system which is already on your bar. First thing to do is undo the line. You're just going to undo this knot. Okay, so you undo the line and just pull off the handle. Okay, the next step is you're just going to pull the line out of the cleat and out through the top, and just going to undo this loop-to-loop connection. Okay, the final step to take everything apart is you're going to need to pull the landing line out. Now what I recommend at this stage is just taking like a piece of fishing line, take off the ring. This system's a fireball, this works the same on a quick loop. And all I'm going to do is just tie a knot in the end of the line, and then you're just going to pull the landing line up through the system and just undo the knot on the other end. Okay, the final step is you're just going to take this landing line off completely. So you just undo the loop-to-loop connection and set aside. Okay, we're now ready to start building up the trim light extension kit. So in the kit, you're going to find a few different items. The first one we're going to work on here is the pulley. So you take the pulley and you take the short piece of grey line. So again, it's just easier to use another little piece of fishing line or something like that. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this through the top of the pulley, through the little hole in there, and get it to the middle. Okay, and you want to try to sit in the middle of the line. The next stage is going to take our trim light extension line, and at the bottom you see the marcloth piece and a loop. So this is what we're going to attach to the top of your current D-power main line. You're going to place this loop over the two loops on the end, and then you're going to pull through both pieces of line. So what I normally do is just start with the longer end and add the shorter piece here. Okay, and you just created a loop-to-loop connection. The next thing we're going to do is take the shorter of the two lines. I'm going to pass this through the pulley bracket on the lines, control lines. So to do this, you actually want to pass it up through the side where your landing line is sticking through and down the other way. The next step is you take this loop and we're going to do a loop-to-loop connection with the pulley. The easiest way I find of doing this is you just open up both lines and we're going to pass the trim line section through and pass the pulley through that, creating a loop-to-loop connection. Okay, from here now, doing the final step of attaching the trim line, we're going to take the longer line, and this is going to go up through the pulley, back down, and now through the cleat. Okay, once you pull it through the cleat, you're going to take your stopper ball. You see there's a large hole and a small hole. The small hole is going to go on the upside, so you poke the line through there, and you'll see there's a piece of marcloth. Now what we're going to do on this marcloth is we're going to tie an overhand knot just above it. Okay, make sure that's seated down pretty tight. Okay, now you can pull the ball down. And now we're pretty much done. We've got one final step now, which is going to be attaching your landing line. You have a new landing line which comes with the extension kit. It's longer than the standard one. So the first thing you do is attach it to the bottom of your front control line. So just a simple loop-to-loop connection, and then tie it onto the end of the piece of fishing line which we pulled through earlier. And you're just going to pull that down and through the D-power main line. Again, with it pulled down, you just attach either your ring if it's a fireball or the leash connection if it's quick loop. There is one more final step. You'll notice in the pack there is some white line with marcloth attached to it. This actually goes onto your rear control lines, so it gives you an extension to make up for the actual length you have now on the trim light. You take your rear control lines and you're going to take off the line connectors. Okay, with the line connectors removed, you're going to take your new extenders. Okay, you notice one's marked red and one's marked black, so red is going to go onto your orange or red control line depending on your year of bar, and black onto the other side. It's just a loop-to-loop connection on the top. Okay, the final stage is you're going to have to take your bar out, lay the lines out, and check that all the lengths are correct and you have correct trim. Correct trim on the system is with the ball up against the cleat. If for any reason your rear lines are not correct, with this system here, it's pretty easy to just tie either a figure-of-8 knot in the line to shorten, or an overhand knot. Either will work, depending on how much trim you need to make. Okay, and if all your lines are even, then your system's ready to go. If you have any questions about this or anything else in our product range, just go to cabrinakites.com.